Hi everyone. I wanted to give you a quick overview of my portable hardware that I've been using to make music. Ever since I moved to the US, I downsized my desktop hardware and moved to a more portable selection, and I wanted to share with you what I use to make music. So the first stuff is the Samsung Series 9. This is a probably 8 years old laptop. It's reaching the end of life. It can barely run Ableton now, but has done me well for many years. It's nice, pretty thin, and it's got good ports for USB and for monitor connections. Along with that, obviously I've got headphones for listening. I recently got this Logitech wireless keyboard and mouse, which is awesome because the laptop keyboard is just too small, and the keys aren't great. So especially when you're working in a big session, you want something that can really have the shortcuts and things like that. Along with that, I have this Alesis Q25, which was a very cheap 25 key controller that I brought to the US. This can fit in a backpack, so although it's not the best controller, it does have full-size keys, which is good. And obviously, I'm looking to upgrade most of this kit soon. Normally I'm using bigger speakers, but the Bose SoundLink is kind of my go-to for portable. It can do Bluetooth, but obviously when you're doing music you want less latency, so you've got a direct in there where you can plug it directly into something. And the Samsung Series 9 doesn't have a good sound card at all, so I'm using this, I would say 15 years old, maybe older, external Sound Blaster sound card. It has the inputs and outputs that I need for recording, and then on the back it can support multiple types of speakers and stuff like that. So this has been great. Obviously I need to upgrade this, but it works really well, and it's very small. It runs off USB power. So and I can show you how I connect everything together. Then of course I've got my along with the keyboard, I've got the guitar, which I'm using to play chords in, sometimes to find harmonies, things like that. And I've got the cables obviously to connect, and this one in particular is a powered, so it's got a battery, and you can do tuning and all sorts of things on there. So that's good for recording. And then the less portable stuff that I don't use as often, the mic stand. I've got obviously better speakers, but these aren't great. I need to upgrade these, and I normally I've got an amp that goes with this, a Denon amp. If I'm using a proper condenser mic, then I've got a preamp as well. This is old. I got this when I was in uni, which was, I don't want to tell you how old I am, but yeah, a long time ago. And the mic itself, this is the second mic I had. I had a Red 5 audio mic, and now I have this SE mic, which is fairly cheap, but it's a good condenser mic with the pop shield and the things that go with that. So I put that on there. The mic stand, use the preamp, and I'm also using sometimes just for playing around, a loop station pedal as well. So that's basically most of my setup. I'm also using an external monitor, obviously, but this is really portable. Most of the stuff will fit in a single backpack, so it's really good for moving around. And I wanted to show this now because when I upgrade it in the future, I want to see the difference. So now I'm going to show a little bit about how I set it all up. So on my desk I've got my external monitor and my old laptop. I'm using a mini HDMI adapter and a power cable there. for that, and I've got it on a stand. The keyboard and mouse, the Logitech combo, is connected via Bluetooth, so I literally just connect those there and then everything is good. So no wires. That's really helpful because there are a lot of other wires going on. For the 25 key keyboard, it's just a USB connection, so I just plug that in there. What's good about the keyboard also is that it's powered USB, so I don't need to have any other cables for that. For the external sound card, I'm just using the Creative Sound Blaster, so I just put it in place and connect up to the other USB port. In some cases I need to have more space for ports, but in this case I'm just doing the external sound card. That's also powered by USB, which is pretty helpful. And in this case, because I don't have the big speakers, I just have the Bose SoundLink, which I connect with this tiny audio jack there. And then essentially what I do is, once the sound card is connected, then I'll start Ableton Live up, and I'll also connect in the guitar. So the guitar connects at one end with the large phono jack, and then the other end I just plug that into the front of here, and then I can do any kind of recording that I need to do. So next step I'll show inside the software. Okay, so now we've got everything connected up. We have an external sound card, so we have to go into System, Settings, Sound, and switch from the inbuilt sound to the external USB, which is this Sound Blaster. Once we've done that, we should be able to boot Ableton, and Ableton should detect everything for us. The other thing that I've done is obviously connected the out of the external sound card into the Bose, and I've also connected up the guitar into the external sound card. So what we're going to do now is we're going to test the connections. In Ableton, the other way you can test is just by going to Preferences, and if you go on that, in this case we want to make sure that the Sound Blaster is detected for both. So we want Sound Blaster external DX, which will give us the better quality version of the. So once we've got that selected, we can then go into just put any old instrument in. Usually I start off with the piano instrument, and then what we want to do is just test the MIDI. So we should hear sound coming out. Obviously the latency there is affected by the latency that you set on your sound card. So in this case, because it's not the best external sound card, I've only got probably like an 80 millisecond latency. You could probably improve that if you had a newer one, but it's good enough for playing. And then we also want to test our audio in, so just have one channel, and if you arm the audio track, you should then, when you make a sound either on your mic or on the guitar, we can see that's coming through. So now we can just test those two to record. So usually what I would do is go to set a tempo, and then we arm the MIDI track first, so we can hear a metronome and we can play something. And then that should get recorded in. And in this case, I'm a little bit out of time. I can just shift some of those. And then what we'd want to do is test our guitar. So you can arm your audio and then you can try playing some guitar.